Hi, good afternoon. We are live from the Enough Space of ISAE-SUPAERO campus. Welcome all to join us for the webinar about the Master of Science in Aerospace Engineering. I am Justine. I'm an admission advisor for the master program at ISAE-SUPAERO. I'm with Joël Bordeneuve, who is the head of master program. So today we thank you, Philippe and Jessica, who are behind us to answer all your questions. We already received a lot of your questions while you registered for the webinar. So they are also here to answer all your questions during the webinar. We're also going to have a question and answer session at the end of the program. So let's start. All right, so also today we are going to welcome on the plateau here Alexia and Justo, who will join us to share their experience about the Master of Science. So first of all, we will have a quick overview of ISAE-SUPAERO. What is the school? We're going to talk about the Master of Science. That's why you're here. You want to know, we received all your questions. You want to know what contains the curriculum and what makes this program, the 2-year master. We're going to talk about the application process, how to apply for the master, but also for the scholarships. We're going to talk about the campus, the facilities, and finally, we're going to welcome our students on here with us to share their experience. And then we're going to take some of your questions and answer them, of course. Ready?
Ready.
Let's start. Okay, so first of all, ISAE-SUPAERO. ISAE-SUPAERO is one of the world leaders in aerospace engineering higher education. Our motto is excellence with passion, which are two important skills if you want to be an aerospace engineer nowadays. It was founded more than 100 years ago by ambitious, passionate scientists. And today, ISAE-SUPAERO's mission is to train the next leaders in aerospace engineering to meet innovative, sustainable challenges of the air transport and space exploration. We are located in Toulouse. I hope you heard about Toulouse before. It's the heart today of it's also the European capital of aerospace. You'll see a bit later, we are surrounded here in Toulouse by a lot of companies that play a big role in the aerospace domain. And ISAE-SUPAERO counts about 1,800 students that take part in different programs. So, of course, there is a Master of Science in Aerospace Engineering, but also the Diplôme d'Ingénieur. There is a lot of 15 advanced masters. There is researchers, PhDs. There is also the spring semester. So, different programs that takes part of the training courses here at ISAE-SUPAERO. So to let you know, where is Toulouse? So Toulouse is in the south of France, close to the Pyrenees, close to the Spanish border. You see here on the map that we are, as I said, surrounded by a lot of companies that plays a big role in the aerospace domain. We have Airbus, there is Thales, Latécoère, Safran, ATR. We also have a lot of research laboratories about space, about aeronautics, like ONERA, the French Aerospace Labs. There is also the NATO Excellence Research Center. So a lot that gives our students strong opportunities to find their internships, their job, and it's also great for us to adapt our program to the industrial needs. Here to show you about our partnerships with the industries. Here you see our partners. There are 17 chairs of support programs. As I said, I mentioned them before: Thales, Airbus, MBDA, Ariane Group, Safran, Accenture. Those entities, they help us to build the programs. They also come to teach in the program, teach our students about real life in the industry nowadays. And some of them also provide scholarship programs and help our students with their projects. Since 1909, some students came through ISAE-SUPAERO and became famous. You can see a few of our alumni. For example, Marcel Dassault from Dassault, who's the founder of Dassault Aviation, Bruno Even, who's the president of Safran Helicopter Engines, Guillaume Faury, CEO of Airbus, but also women engineer like Aude Vignel, Chief Technology Officer at the Australian Space Agency, Elodie Vigneault, who works for the European Space Agency as a director. So yes, a lot of famous engineers today. Also famous astronauts who took part in the European Space Agency mission. Astronauts like Thomas Pesquet, Samantha Cristoforetti, Luca Parmitano. And I heard also that the recruitment for the European Space Agency is ongoing nowadays, and a few of our students have been pre-selected, so we cross fingers. All right. So that was a part to let you know about ISAE-SUPAERO very briefly. Now, Joël, they want to hear what is exactly the Master of Science in Aerospace Engineering.
Thank you, Justine. Now we'll give some information about the Master of Science, the one you are here. So maybe we'll give you a global overview of the program, which is given here, and some strong keywords about the way the program has been built. So you can see that this is a 2 years program, which is divided in 4 semesters. And we can see that this program has been built around 5 pillars, 5 main pillars. The first one is a strong common core, a strong multidisciplinary common core, which is given to the students to make them reach a given level, but will help them to choose the major, which is the main part of the third semester. Then the second pillar is the research project. These research projects will be driven between the second and the third semester, and it will be connected to the research activities, the research programs of the departments of ISAE-SUPAERO. I mean, all the research projects will be mainly focused on research interest of the professors of ISAE-SUPAERO. Maybe one more information about these projects. They will be conducted by groups of 2 or by single students. Then the third pillar is the wide selection of elective courses. Around 20 electives will be proposed during the second semester of the first year, in order to give a very wide curriculum to the students, and it will help the students to extend their field of knowledge, and it will be a very good asset to start the major in the last year, in the third semester of the last year. Then come the selection of the majors. As you will see, 7 majors are proposed to the students, and these majors cover the whole activity of the researchers of ISAE-SUPAERO. I mean, the majors are sufficient to make all the students quite specialists in the domain of aeronautical engineering, aerospace engineering, I would say. And then the last pillar is, of course, master thesis, which is a end of study project, which is conducted during the last semester in a company. So all the students will go in a company during the last semester.
In a company or laboratory?
Or laboratory. It can be done in a laboratory, that's true. Well, this is another view of the project and of the courses. And as you can see, the common core is very important. We want to bring all the students to a very good, very high level, despite different backgrounds of the students. You will see that the majority of the students come from different countries and different backgrounds, and we want to bring them to a good level, but we'll make them able to choose the major, which is the main part of the courses. The elective courses are also connected to the majors, in such a way that some electives are mandatory if you choose certain majors. Well, the Common Core runs between the semester 1 and the semester 3, but as you can see, the research project lasts more than 1 year, and this is the main project funded by the students during the 3 semesters at school. Well, some keywords about the Common Core, which is the main part of the courses. All the students are given a good knowledge, good teaching on scientific engineering courses. This is the very basic. This is the very basic course we want the students to have. Then some extra courses on project management and systems engineering are also given, plus, of course, soft skills, which are mandatory, and foreign languages. Even if the courses are given in English, the French is mandatory, I guess. So you will learn French, and if possible, this is possible to learn more languages.
Of course, for French speakers who may integrate the program, other languages will be available for you, but all students get to learn basic French, of course, to be able to survive in France, where not everyone, if you go buy your bread or your juice, can speak English. So it's good to have basics.
Even if the courses are given in English.
Yes.
All the courses. Then, you can see the main objectives we try to reach, and we succeed in reaching these objectives. We want the students, we want you to master the solid technical and scientific skills, which is absolutely mandatory to enter the professional world. Then we want you to be aware of disciplines playing a major role in the new aerospace projects. This is quite important because the techniques are evolving every day, and you will be in contact with the innovation labs and the innovation courses which are proposed at ISAE-SUPAERO. And then you will be prepared to work in a multicultural environment. This is very important also. Because of your nationality, you will be in contact with several engineers from all over the world, and the techniques of multicultural communication will be a very good asset for you. Then you have I think the extensive list of the electives courses which are proposed to the students, and as you can see, I will not read all the courses, but as you can see, it's a mix, a kind of balance mixed between some high-level technical and scientific techniques and courses, and soft skills, program management, more social-oriented courses. Yes, now we move to the majors. The majors are the main choice the students have to do when they come at ISAE-SUPAERO for the master. This is the extensive list of the majors. As you can see, there are majors very connected to aerospace industry, to aeronautical world, to space, to structure, embedded systems, satellite applications, system engineering. Well, what you have to keep in mind is that the envelope of these majors offer a very wide syllabus, which is very complete and which is very recognized by the industry. This is a kind of specialization. Every major is about 200 hours of courses, plus the internship later. Then there is an extra possibility to do an exchange with the National School of Meteorology in Toulouse. This is something which is offered to the students during the third semester. Instead of taking the major, there is the possibility of going to this school and to receive courses, to get courses which are connected to the aeronautical industry, of course, but more connected to meteor and climate changes. Then there is another important information to give about the aircraft and design operation pathway, which is not major, but which is a choice that can be made by the students in order to develop their skills for the multidisciplinary optimization for aircrafts. This is something which is very important for the students who want to complete their knowledge and develop special skills and to have a very global knowledge on how to build and design an aircraft, of course. And then for the semester 4 comes the master thesis. What can be done, as we said, in a company or in a research lab, in France or abroad. These are the strong assets of the Master in Aeronautical Engineering. The program is fully taught in English, as we said, but with the possibility of learning more languages. We have the support of the Career Center within ISAE-SUPAERO. This is a department which helps the students to look for internship, to complete their CVs, their curriculum, that helps the students to write their motivation letters, to prepare their interviews, and that organize specific meetings with the representatives of industry. So a lot of work has been done and is done every year by the Career Center, and this is a very good asset for the students when they look for internships or jobs when they graduate. There is also strong engagement in the ecological transition. This is something which is quite important nowadays, and a lot of courses are developed in order to propose a wide offer of new courses about decarbonization, about climate changes, and maybe I could have an extra information about the creation of a brand new lab here at ISAE-SUPAERO, which is the Institute for Sustainable Aviation, which has been created this year, which is just under development, and that will be a real asset. This is the very first lab in France and in Europe dedicated to the ecological transition and all the decarbonization aviation, which is a real concern, as you know. This is the map of the students this year. So 146 students in this class. The majority of them coming from, well, not the majority, but half coming from Europe. And as you can see, the map is quite wide. So we have many students from Asia, from America, some from Africa. So maybe a very important data is the percentage of female students, which is 22%, which is a lot in France. We are not used to such a high number of girls in France. So this is very nice for us.
And we want to welcome more.
Yes, and we want more, of course. And what do they do after graduation? This data gives a very clear information about the jobs which are taken by the students after the graduation. Maybe the most important data is that about 80% or more than 80% of the students go to the aerospace industry, even space or aeronautics. It depends. But well, the huge majority of the students will work in the aerospace industry. But this is not limited to this domain. Some of them work in computer science, in research, or even in automotive or transport. The majority of them work in France, but this is not limited to France. Some of them are working abroad, or some of them come back to their country. It depends, but everything is possible. And you have a list which is not exhaustive of the companies where the students work. So we have a list of some examples of what MAE students are doing now. This is just a simple way of and very clear view of some possible professions, jobs that can be taken by the students after the graduation. And as you can see, a lot of them are working for aircraft design in R&D departments, even in space for some of them which are working at CNES for satellite control. Some of them are performing PhD, either at ISAE-SUPAERO or in companies. This is a strong possibility offered to the students. And well,
a lot of different types of engineers.
Yes.
From drone engineers, flight tests.
It's quite
acoustic.
difficult to draw a complete map of the possibilities because it's very open. Everything is possible after the master of aeronautical engineering.
Yeah, and you make your own curriculum, so it's very important. Even if you have already a project in mind or not, you'll get all the knowledge about all the possibilities, and you'll be able to make, build your own curriculum during the 2 years of master.
Yes, this is very important. As I said, the Common Core is very wide and very strong, but the possibility of getting a kind of personal curriculum is always open through the electives and through the majors, through the internships, and also using through the research project.
Yep, student projects we'll hear about with the students later also.
Yes.
All right, so now you all wonder how to apply to the Master of Science, how to candidate, be an applicant. So, first of all, to have the academic prerequisites would be better. So, you may be doing a bachelor, a license, or getting a degree, whether in physics or mathematics. You can be doing mechanical engineering, aerospace engineering, electronics, telecommunications. All those skills are needed in the aerospace industry, so you're welcome to apply if you have one of those backgrounds. The applications are now opened. They're open since the beginning of October, and they will be open for now till February. If you check the QR code here, but you check online, we have this little table that you see here with different deadlines. So the first deadline for this period is the 1st of December. It's a very important deadline because it's also the deadline before if you want to apply for a scholarship, that would be the deadline mentioned. So this is the first winter session. You can apply before the 1st of December to be among the first applicants, which give you more chances because no admission committee took place before. So you'll be the first applicants for the master program for September 2023 intake. There are already only one intake per year in September. So then if you apply after December, it's also fine. You apply before the 11th of January for the second winter session or before the 6th of February for the third winter session. There is an admission committee per month from January. And then you get the admission results according to those dates, January 20th for if you applied before the 1st of December, etc. What document do you need? So it's an application file. So you need a resume, a cover letter, of course, in English, please. Preferably 1 page or 2 page maximum, but think of all the admission committee who will read all the application of so many students. Please be straight to the point. That's one of the tips I can give you when you make your application. Show your motivation and be, preferably 1 page or 2. You will need a copy of your highest diploma. Or if you are in the last year of your bachelor, you can also add your certificate of enrollment. We also have the question many times like, if I haven't finished my degree yet, can I apply? Yes, of course you can apply. If you don't have all the transcripts of the last year, you provide the one you have. And even if some of them arrive later after you completed your application, you still can send them to us by email. So that's an important fact. Even if you're in your last year of bachelor, you can apply for the first year of the master program. Then, as I said, you provide your transcripts, all the one you have from your bachelor. We will need 2 letters of recommendation, whether from one of your professors, one of your, like if you do an internship, you have a tutor, or someone mentoring you. This is also possible, preferably one from the academic side and one from the professional side, or both academics is also fine. The letter of recommendation, how it works, you just write their email address on the application website, and the system will send them automatically an email so that they download by themselves the recommendation letter. And then we receive it and everything's fine. And anyway, if any problem, you have our address email. An English test results, that's very important. As we mentioned, all the 2 years are taught in English. So we need to know that you speak English and you understand English, you write English, that's very important. I exempted, of course, national English speakers, but most of the rest need to provide one of those tests with the limited scores shown on the screen. The GRE test is not mandatory, but if you took it, please provide it. It's always an additional information about yourself. And about the application fee, they are €90. You will also have to provide the proof of payment. That's simple. You will receive it once you make the payment online. Tuition fees and scholarship. Tuition fees are €13,800 per year, with a different fees for European students of about €5,000 per year. What happens when you are admitted into the program? You will have about 3 weeks to confirm admission, whether you want to be part of the program next September 2023 or whether not, but you have 3 weeks to decide. And to make sure we book your place, your seats in the program, we will ask you to make a down payment of €1,000. That will be deducted from the final tuition fees, but this is an important information for you to anticipate and be ready when you receive your admission. As I told you, before the 1st of December, scholarship programs. There are 5 different scholarships provided by ISAE-SUPAERO, by our partners. We highly encourage you, if you can, to apply before the 1st of December because the scholarships, they are excellent scholarship programs, so preferably with, for excellent students, we will need GPA minimum 75% of the score, or 3 out of 4, depending of your scale of grading. But we give the chance to excellent students that the scholarship provides tuition fees and part of the living expenses. So it's great. You have the MBDA program. Preferably for Indian or Indonesian students. You have the Fondation ISAE-SUPAERO that provides also for all nationalities a scholarship. Airbus Group, the chair for eco-design that we call CEDAR, preferably for majors in aeronautics Airbus. ISAE-SUPAERO also provides scholarships, and the Toulouse Graduate School of Aerospace Engineering, called TSAE, for students who want to continue with a PhD. So take the opportunity. Before the 1st of December, you can apply to the scholarship. At the end, once you've completed your master application, a window will appear and you can upload your letter of motivation. The campus, maybe you can tell us more about the campus, Joël?
Yes.
Some research equipments, many.
Yes. You have, here you can see images of some facilities that we offer to the students. One characteristic of ISAE-SUPAERO is that many facilities, or maybe all the facilities, are shared between the researchers, the professors, the PhD students, and the students also. This is a very good way of mixing the students with the research, our everyday work. So we have flight simulators, of course. We have some different test benches for propulsion, for turboreactors, or for gas guns also. We have a brand new aeroacoustic wind tunnel, which is unique in Europe. We have several white rooms dedicated to microelectronics and to the design and fabrication of some electronic devices. And we have a drone facility, which is called Volière in French, and this is a place where you can test the flights of drones in a very safe environment, and with a lot of material dedicated to the positioning of the drones. This is a very unique facility we have at SUPAERO. And there is also a complete fleet of light planes at SUPAERO, which is used by the students for some tests, from some flying experiences, and even by the researchers in the Department of Human Factors. I think the list is almost complete. Maybe we can move to the campus to enjoy. The campus is enjoyable. Well,
it's wide.
It's very wide. Yes, it's situated in the southwest of Toulouse, in the real heart of very close from the Toulouse University, and in the heart of science in Toulouse. We have a swimming pool. We have a very good restaurant. We have a brand new learning center that you can see on the bottom photo, and the housing also. But maybe we can speak about the housing.
I'll talk about the campus housing a bit later.
Okay.
Maybe I can talk about the clubs.
Yeah.
You'll see at ISAE-SUPAERO, so a lot of sport facilities are available on campus. If you want to practice any sport, actually, you can. It's incredible of the list of sports you can do here. But not only different activities, extracurricular activities you can do, whether you're interested into technical activities like drones, or modeling, robotics, or art, theater, debating. The club of debating is very active. The film, photography, I mean, you know, whether you want to do something, you can find it, or if there is not here yet, you create it. You have a lot of opportunity to make your life at ISAE-SUPAERO enjoyable, and do extracurricular activities, meet people, and that's a great asset for you too. As we talk about, we have on-campus housing for our students. There is about 1,000 rooms available on campus. Some of them are dedicated to master students, because we know you come from abroad, most of the master students. And some rooms, like the rooms are saved for you. We use a toolbox service. Actually, we're very happy that the University of Toulouse is offering the service. It's free for you if you want it. It will help you to book in advance your room on campus. It will help you to open a bank account when you arrive, help you with all the administrative formalities like visa, housing allowance. I don't know if you know, but all students studying in France can receive the housing allowance. So it's sometimes a bit tricky with administrative problems, so Toolbox will help you to do that. They also give you a transport card, anything you need when you arrive. So that's great. When you come from far away, you don't speak really good French, or not at all, that's okay. This service is here to help you anticipate and give you what you need when you arrive. We also have the Bienvenue en France, Welcome to France label. So it's show you from Campus France that we know how to welcome our students, and we're very happy to welcome international students on campus. That's Toulouse, a brief overview, because now we're going to welcome soon our students. They're going to talk much better than us, Joël, about their experience at ISAE-SUPAERO in Toulouse. But so you know, Toulouse have been voted 2 years in a row the first student city in France. So it's really a great city where you can enjoy everything you want as a student. It's very vibrant life. You also, an hour 10 by flight from Paris. You're very close to the mountain, to the seaside. So a lot of activities to enjoy, whether in winter or summer. And it's very enjoyable. Okay. So now we really want to hear what Alexia and Justo have been thinking about their 2 years or year and a half of master. We're going to do a very quick break. You're going to see a very short videos so that they can come on the plateau with us, and then we come back right away. See you in a minute. Hello again, we're back, and now we're here on the plateau of Enough Space. We are with Alexia and Justo. Welcome. Not too much stress, is okay?
It's fine.
It's all good.
You're in direct with all our students, so they really want to know about your experience in the master program. So maybe, first of all, maybe you can introduce yourself, name, where you come from, and what was your studying background?
So I'm Alexia, so I'm part American, part French. I did my studies in France. It's in a Bachelor of Mechanics.
Okay.
So I joined the Master of Science Aerospace Engineering program here at ISAE-SUPAERO. And I've just graduated this year, so I'm a former student now.
Yes, you will be graduated in December, right?
Exactly.
Okay. How about you, Justo?
So, hi, my name's Justo, as you just said. I'm from Argentina, but I did my bachelor's in mechanical engineering in Chile. And I'm on the last year of the master's, so I'm right now looking for an internship here in France.
All right, so you're in the third semester, right?
Yeah.
You're right in your major, the major you chose during the first semester.
Exactly, yeah.
And what is your major?
So I'm majoring in aerospace structures,
All right.
but I also picked the aircraft design pathway.
Okay. Can you tell us a bit more about that pathway aircraft design?
For sure. So as far as I'm concerned, the aircraft design pathway focuses more on the multidisciplinary design optimization of an aircraft. Okay. Also, it has a lot to do with the aircraft design methods, the methodologies that are used, the algorithms for designing aircraft. This practically means we have to pick 2 of the electives. We're forced to pick 2 of the electives based on aircraft design.
Okay.
And the other 2, in my case at least, are structures.
Structures. You chose that.
Yeah.
So your major is more directed towards aeronautics?
Yes. Okay. Fully directed into aviation,
okay.
yes.
That's what you wanted to do?
Yeah.
How about you, Alexia? So you're more about space. That's what I understood.
Yes, I did the space system major.
Okay.
So we have a lot of classes on all the satellites, so the different subsystems of the satellites. So it's from the AOCS attitude orbit control system,
okay, and
also the thermal aspect. So about the space environment, radiation, debris. And also launch architecture, okay, so more propulsion, and so it's very broad, so everything about space.
All right, and you already have done your internship then,
exactly,
since you graduated. Can you tell us more about that?
So I chose, so you can do your internship either in a company, but also in a laboratory. So I chose to do mine at a laboratory in France, an astrophysics laboratory.
Okay.
So
astrophysics.
Yes.
Wow.
So even with engineering, let's say diploma,
yeah,
you can still do more research and even astrophysics, and so because all these skills that are demanded are what also we learn here. Mm-hmm. So I've just finished really recently my internship.
Yes. Okay. And now you decided to continue toward astrophysics. That's your thing.
Yes, exactly.
More research.
So exactly. So my experience at SUPAERO mainly realized that a new passion about asteroids. So I really wanted to know more about the small bodies of the solar system. So I chose to join another master in astrophysics. So with my degree, I could directly go in a second year.
Okay. And she's based in ISAE-SUPAERO. That's why she could be here today. That's
exactly.
All right. And sorry, I will continue with you about the space. I heard you went recently to the AIC to present your projects.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about this?
So last year, I was part of a student project, extracurricular activity. So it was on the elaboration of a lunar rover.
Okay.
So it was a contest that was launched by the CNES being the French Space Agency. Yeah. So we had the opportunity to present our work and our prototype. It's not this one, it's another one. So show our prototype to the CNES and to the International Astronautical Congress that was this year at Paris. Yeah. So it was a great occasion to present our work, and
you won.
We won, so that was good news.
Wonderful. All right. You also did, Justo, a very interesting project, right? So we're talking right now about extracurriculum projects that students get to have the opportunity to do, right? How do you enter that kind of project? Like you candidate, apply?
So in my case, at least, I worked in an UAV competition.
Okay.
The way I learned about it really was because Dassault, which was the company that was sponsoring the competition, just published a notice for French students, French, aerospace students pretty much. And I formed a team with my friends, a couple of people from my master's, and we ended up going.
Okay, awesome. And how was that like?
It was a lot of work.
Yeah.
Especially because it wasn't just the design of the UAV. You had to design it, then you had to build it, and of course you had to fly it and convince the people at Dassault that your mission was the best mission.
Wow.
So it was a very long process. I would say, roughly half a year to a year working on this with 5 other students. And in the end, we had to go to Bordeaux, which is where Dassault is based, to test our UAV and compete against the other universities in France.
Okay, that's amazing. Okay.
It was very, very cool.
So right now, Justo, you are in the third semester. This is the time also when you look for your internship. Can you tell us more a bit about the Career Center, how they are helping you to find your internship? How do you plan to, what are your opportunities?
Yeah, so here in SUPAERO, the Career Center is very good.
Yeah.
I really like the help we're getting. Corinne, which is, I believe, who's in charge of the Career Center, helps out a lot, especially for us students that are trying to apply for positions where French is required. So she will go on vos entretiens, like a simulated interview, to help you all get used to speaking in French and answering technical questions in French. Also, she will look about your CV. She will help with that. She will also help with the lettre de motivation, the motivation letter. That is very, very, very important here in France as well. So if you're coming from abroad, maybe you're not used to writing motivation letters, or you realize that the CV layout is different here in France, all of this will be taken care of by the Career Center. They will help you move towards the correct place.
But that's because you decided you want to do your internship here in France, whether if you want, you can also do it wherever you want in the world, right? You can also...
Exactly, yes. Some of my classmates are trying to go to the UK, others are looking at Switzerland as well. It's possible to do it, there's no issue whatsoever.
Okay. Now, do you have questions, maybe? No?
No.
How about, can you tell us about your life on campus? Do you live on campus?
Me, myself, yes, I do live on campus. I think I would recommend it at least for the first year, because there are many traditions in this school that I did not know about before coming here.
What about? Tell us about it.
There's the campaign, so the whole democratic political system of the students, the Bureau des élèves.
Yeah, Bureau des élèves, the student office.
The student council, pretty much. They have elections every year, and every year they try to convince you to vote for them. But the funny thing is, here in France, they convince you by giving you free food, they organize parties. It's very interesting.
Maybe we should stop here.
It's very interesting how it works out, and if you don't live in campus, you kind of miss out on that.
Yeah.
So this is why.
And also, you came from Chile when you arrived here. Did you speak French before?
I had done 6 years of French before.
6 years of French?
Yes.
So how was your French?
In my high school, it was so-so.
All right. Did the French class help you?
Yes, definitely. It might seem, for some people that have a very decent level before coming here, it might seem like it's maybe not the best idea to go again through French, but I believe it's good because it forces you to speak French at least once a week for 3 hours. So for me, it's okay.
I remind you that you don't need a French level to arrive at ISAE-SUPAERO in the master program. Whether you speak zero French, it's okay. We're going to teach you this. But English, though, it's the best, the most important.
Yes, but we see that at the end of the second year, the majority of the students have a very good level in French.
Which is actually very useful with all the companies around us. You get a lot of opportunities, right, to interact with this world. And French is helping, for sure. We are in Toulouse. Toulouse is very international, right? We are surrounded by students, by employees, workers, which are coming from a lot of different nationalities. So English will always be the business language in aerospace domain. But in France, of course, sometimes it's good to speak the basics, right? Okay, and how about the campus? Are you using the facilities, doing some clubs, sports, activities? Alexia?
I did join during last year, of course. Different clubs. So there's yoga classes that I've did, and also judo classes.
Okay.
So there's a lot of different sport facilities. A swimming pool, I did not use it, but there was a space reserved even for martial arts.
Okay.
So that's pretty impressive, as it's not very common. But every sort of sports, you can do it here. So that was fun.
Did you do some sport, Justo?
Yes, I actually managed to play basketball on the basketball courts.
Okay.
And also I've played tennis. So it's very nice to actually have both courts on campus.
Yeah, actually. Okay, and how about what did you like about the master program in general? How it was like coming here to ISAE-SUPAERO? What would you think are the best assets of the training program?
So what I really liked about doing my program here is the different opportunities that I had, especially the research project that we've mentioned before. So it's on the second semester to the third semester, so it lasts for a year. So I really like the project since it's the occasion to really work on one project, and I got really passionate about my project, and now I really want to work in this. So
did you work individually or with?
So no, I was with someone else. So we were in a pair,
Yeah.
and so we have several. We had several supervisors. So we were really well. It was really well structured.
Yeah.
And
so that's what you like, the research project, the possibility
Yes.
to interact and to learn about.
yes.
All right. How about you?
I believe that the professors are very good. I
Yeah.
think it's very interesting that we get so many industry professionals teaching here in SUPAERO. I wasn't that used to it back home because, well, the aeronautical sector isn't that big. But I think it's a very unique thing from here in ISAE that almost everybody that is speaking out of experience because they actually work in their field. So yeah, for me, that's top notch.
Okay, great. And did you use a toolbox, Justo?
Yeah.
That was helpful for you coming from far away, arriving in France with. You had never been to France before, have you?
No, I haven't. Yeah, the toolbox service I recommend a lot. It helps with setting up the appointments, which usually in France involves a phone call that if you don't have a very good level of French, it's going to be hard.
Administrative stuff.
Yes, also with the CAF as well.
Yeah, the student housing allowance.
Housing allowance. Overall, they make the process way easier, and especially the moment you arrive, you just are learning how everything works. There's not really a lot of time to be investing in, opening a bank account, getting the CAF papers on point, working out how the rooming works. So overall, for me, it's good.
Okay, great. Okay, so maybe a last thing. What suggestion would you give to our students, future students who are watching us today? What advice maybe you would tell them? Maybe if they have like 6 more months before arriving here, 8 more months now. Do you have any advice to give them?
Not in particular.
Not in particular? Work well on your motivation letter.
Yeah, take the application very seriously because if you do so, you might just earn a scholarship. So
Yeah, absolutely.
that is definitely one of the points, I would say.
And about working, studying in France, any suggestion? Maybe we can talk about the organization of the 2 years, which may be different for students sometimes, which means like you have courses and then exams right away, and then courses at the same time. You don't have only one period of exams, you have exams all year long, right? How was that for you? Was that different from Chile?
That is definitely different from Chile, yes. I don't know if the people watching know this, but at least here in SUPAERO, I don't know if it's common for all of France.
No,
It's not common.
Yeah,
in
I
France,
did not.
Okay.
I was not used
In
to
France,
that.
yeah, we have exams only end of each
Semester. Okay, perfect. So here, this is not the case. Courses are shorter.
Yeah.
So courses last, I guess, anywhere from 3 weeks to a month or 2 weeks to a month, maybe a bit more. So this means your courses don't necessarily start all at the same time,
Yes.
and therefore they don't finish at the same time. So you might be finishing with one course, doing a final exam, while starting another course. This is, I think, what you were saying.
Exactly. I heard that students are a bit, they find it different than they're studying way back home. And so, yeah, it's good to know for you guys. And also, yeah, about a week organization, like how the courses are organized. I think it changes every week, right? According to
Yeah, so the schedule is a bit different. So each week, but all classes are from Monday through Friday. But on Thursday afternoon, there's no classes for
That's why
every
you're
student.
here.
Exactly, yeah. And so it's for the students to do extracurricular activities as sports or other projects.
Okay. That's great. I think now we can start with, maybe if you have questions, I think Jessica in the background can send me a few questions that we can answer with you guys' help. I'd be happy. So, I'm going to see in our conversation, I think that Jessica has been sending me a lot of questions. Thank you. I have one. Does the scholarship application need to go along with the application, or can it be applied separately after the application is submitted to the university? So this is a question for me. First, you apply for the Master of Science, and then at the end, you will a window will open for you to apply for a scholarship. You can apply to 1, 2, 3, 4, how many scholarships you want. One important thing is that I suggest you adapt your motivation letter, because each scholarship is different, has a different purpose, different scholarship providers also, whether it's an industry, a school, etc. So please make some research and adapt if you want to be taken seriously and taken for a scholarship. One thing to precise, I remember you asked that question before. When you apply, you can only apply to one program. I had the question if I can apply to the master, but also in the diplôme d'ingénieur or the double degree with TUM, which also exists. We're not going to talk about it today. But no, you have to choose. You can apply only to one program per year. Okay, that's it. Is it necessary to have 1 year work experience to get into the MIE, the Master of Science?
No.
Definitely not.
Most students don't have a year of experience.
Right. Okay.
Most students have a bachelor degree. Well,
Okay.
for sure it's mandatory. And some of them did internships, but not even all students did some internships. So,
All right. Okay.
so it's not a mandatory requirement.
Yes. Are there any machine learning classes? Question for you.
It's quite new, yes. We have some machine learning classes. It's part of one elective. This is not in the Common Core.
Okay.
It will come in the Common Core maybe next year, I don't know. But right now it's part of an elective, yes.
Okay.
If I can just add something, so about the machine learning, we did actually work on machine learning during our research project. So
Okay.
even if it's not in the classes, you can still work on a project, so during the research projects.
Super. How many applications did you receive last course, and how many students are you going to admit next year? That's a very good question. So you saw that this year we welcomed 146 students. This is already a high number. It was a bit more than last year. I think 12% more students than last year. And I think we're going to stick to this. This is a normal number. So it depends on how many good students we receive, like applications, maybe this year. But we're going to stick to that amount of students every year. Maybe, Joël, you can help us with this question. You are part of the admission committee. How important is submitting a GRE test? GRE test is helping you to know about logical skills of the students, mathematics.
Mm-hmm. This is quite important, but I don't think this is the main criteria we are looking at.
Of course.
During
Would that be a disadvantage if they don't have?
Yeah.
It would not be.
No.
No, not at all. Not all of the students actually have GRE test when they apply. So this doesn't prevent at all the admission of the student. Can we choose a minor? Good question. No.
There is no minor. No.
There's no minor.
There is only a major, which is a specialization, but it just this is 200 hours. This is not a strong specialization. So it can also be seen as a minor.
Okay. What is expected from a mechanical engineer applying to ISAE-SUPAERO? Well, you guys have a mechanical engineer background.
Mine is not really mechanical engineering, it's more mechanics as physics part, so I think you'll be better to answer this question.
So what's the question again?
What is expected from a mechanical engineer applying to ISAE-SUPAERO?
So how I understand the question means what people here expect from a mechanical engineering.
Maybe.
I think if you did a complete bachelor's in mechanical engineering, that's more than enough. It also depends on the major you're applying to, but for the common core, it will be more than enough for solving, I think, the only structures course we have related to the common core is flight and ground loads, and that's very, very easy. If you did a bachelor's in mechanical, that's more than enough knowledge, I would say.
Did you have some? Were you able, with your background, to follow all classes or some of them?
Yes, definitely for the structures major. If you did a bachelor's in mechanical engineering, this is a plus, so it's going to be easier to follow the major and all the courses.
Okay. A question for you guys. How did you felt studying here? That's one. And what were the difficulties and the satisfactions? I would like to know, how did you feel the environment you lived in? Thank you.
So I really liked the city. So I was from France, but I didn't knew the Toulouse area.
Okay.
So yeah, I do really enjoy the city and the surroundings. So actually, I'm planning of staying here for a long time.
It's welcoming Toulouse. Huh?
Yeah, I do like it. It's really nice. So forgot a bit the question, but I really do like this city.
Yeah, what were the difficulties you may have?
Difficulties.
Maybe there were not.
There were some, but I think it's more just like normal difficulties of doing a master. So
hard work.
Yeah, for sure. There is some difficult weeks. You'll need to work a bit more than the usual week. So it's not easy every week, but at the end,
it's rewarding.
Yes.
Certainly. How about you? Difficulties?
So for me, it was a bit different because I'm not from France, so it's very different culture-wise to where I come from. So I would say that's one difficulty. But on the bright side, how is it different?
Yes, give us some examples.
I'm going to talk about the food real quick. Okay. So we can actually get food very late at night. This is not a thing here in France. If you want to get a very nice meal at midnight, it's going to be hard. It's going to be pretty hard. No, but overall, I would say stuff most students will go through is, if you're international, of course, you miss your family. Mm-hmm. If you come from far away. What we're talking about, how the courses are layered. In the beginning, it's a bit hard to get used to the way it works here.
It's good to know in advance that it's going to be different.
Yeah. But overall, going to the first question about the vibe, it's very, very nice. Students are very friendly. Staff is very friendly. Professors as well. The city is very beautiful. I really like Toulouse. There's a very, very big student community in Toulouse. There's many universities. So there's students from all over, not only inside SUPAERO, but outside. So yeah, I think it's a very good place to do a master's.
Great. I wanted to precise that in the master program itself, there are 95% this year of international students. So actually, Alexia here is special. There's not so many French students studying in the master program. Maybe they're afraid of English speakers, I don't know. But yes, you are a lot coming from everywhere in the world for the master program. So, of course, there will be cultural differences, but that build you, that makes you ready to work in a multicultural environment, and that's what is important. Another question maybe, my goal is to study guidance, navigation and control system. What might be the prerequisites that can help me feel comfortable with the courses?
Well, I think that the basic background is sufficient because there is a major which is specifically dedicated to this kind of application.
Okay, which is
the major control.
Okay.
Aircraft and system control.
Okay.
So this is typically what we teach in this major.
All right.
But we do not expect a specific background for this major.
All right. So he doesn't need to learn extra courses.
No.
I know a lot of you ask for what can I learn in addition to my bachelor background in order to fill the time before I arrive at ISAE-SUPAERO, I would say maybe learn a bit of French before, because your bachelor background is enough. If you have been admitted, it's because we think you have the level to start as a first year master program, so you're fine. Maybe another question: does a course in human spaceflight exist?
In human space flight.
Human factors?
Human factors?
In human factors, I think it's in the space system major. I think so.
It's an elective. I did not have it. It's an elective in the first year. I had some friends that did it. I don't know a lot about this course, but I know that it exists.
Mm-hmm. Because there is a strong research team at SUPAERO dedicated to human factors. This is why they propose a specific elective course of 30 hours about human interaction.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was interacting with Jessica, asking for more questions. Did we answer the question?
Yes, we do.
Okay, yes, we have more questions. Is it allowed to get recommendation letter from my department, my head of department, not a professor at the university?
Yes, I would say yes.
The head of department. As soon as he can talk about the way you study, he can talk about you, I think it's the most important. He needs to recommend you, so...
Someone who knows the student is always welcome.
Of course. And what is the selection criteria for admission? Well, we talked a bit about it before. Of course, it's going to be your CGPA, which is your score, your score during the bachelor program. The motivation is important when you do aerospace. You need motivation. It's a hard work, right? It's not an easy path. So you need to be really passionate about what you're doing and want to really achieve your goal. What else?
We also look at the program offered by the university they come from.
Of
This
course.
is something which is important. We look carefully at the complete syllabus of the universities.
Exactly, to make sure you have the prerequisite backgrounds, of course.
Yeah.
The recommendation letters are also very important. We want to make sure you're a good student, you study hard, you're recommendable. So we read the recommendation letter and be nice with your teachers, write a nice letter. Could you please tell us more about the advanced aerodynamics and propulsion major? Can you talk about this?
Yes, this is a very, very important major which is conducted by professors and researchers from the aerodynamic department at school, with two main pillars, which are propulsion and aerodynamics. So there is a big theoretical part centered about aerodynamics of new kind of wings and fuselage and so on. And there is another pillar, which is the propulsion. Every kind of motor of turbo reactors, and a brand new specific topic around hydrogen propulsion, which is quite new. Right. So this is a very demanding and demanded major, which has a very, very high success.
Okay. And maybe a last question, because we're already 10 minutes after the time, is any specific softwares, or I would think also about coding languages that needs to be known before integrating the master program, or do you learn that during the program?
So it's better if you already know some, but we'll learn from the basic even. So what we use often is Python, MATLAB.
Okay.
But if you don't know these, you'll learn during the first year.
And if you already know, will you have to attend those classes as well?
Yes, but they're sort of different of levels.
Okay.
So you'll just go
you
do the
learn
exercise faster.
Okay, for sure. All right, I think we coming to the end of that webinar. I hope we could answer all of your questions, and if we did not, don't worry, we have all the list of your questions and we'll try to answer this by email directly to you. What I want to thank is all of you guys. Thank you very much for attending the webinar today and helping me with all your experience and knowledge. I want to also thank Hugo for all of this great organization. I hope you saw all the decoration we put, the screen, the rover, the satellite, I don't know, drone, etc. So we were very happy to be welcoming you in this space today. I want you guys to maybe show our contacts. If you have any more questions after this webinar, feel free to contact us. It's the next slide. That's already done. Here you have my email. You can find me also on Instagram. I'm trying to post what's new here coming up in the school. You can also send me messages. Of course, you can follow ISAE-SUPAERO on all those different social media. I invite you to do it because a lot is happening here, whether it's research or new buildings coming up. So yeah, a lot to know about us. And the leaflets that you have here, you can download it. There is all the explanation, more details about the program. All right, thank you very much for attending, and we look forward to hear from you.
Thank you.
Have a very nice day. Bye.
Bye.